Welcome back to YouTube. So we have to clean the griddle today. I've had this griddle for about 3 years and cooked on it dozens of times, and I clean it after every use real good, but it's to the point now to where you can see you got some rust starting to happen to it, and it's kind of getting a little funky now. So we're going to go ahead and clean this. And where I live, the humidity is so high here in South Carolina, and this is rolled steel, so rolled steel is going to rust. Really don't matter how much you take care of it, after each cook, you're still going to get rust, and I have rust. So now I have to clean it, and I've seen a lot of people that are saying that on YouTube and what have you, that you should use water on this, but I don't think using water on it is a good idea, because it's it's rolled steel, and water is going to affect whatever it is, whatever coating that you've already got on here. Water is going to render that coating nil once you put water on rolled steel. And beside the fact that no matter how much you wipe it off, you have already introduced water onto the steel, and that's never a good thing. So what I'm using is the cheapest brand of oil that I could find, or what we had. And we have this canola oil, but it's the cheapest one that we can find, and that's what we had on hand. So that's what we'll use. So yeah, I'm going to get to it and get this cleaned up, and we'll go from there. So let's get with it. So the first thing you're going to need to do is cut your heat up on all 4 burners. And let your grill get hot. After the grill gets hot, you can take a real stiff spatula or one of these scrapers and start scraping off the all the excess that you can. So we're going to let this heat up and let it cool down a little bit, and then we'll proceed to scraping off all the gunk. Okay, I'll let it come all the way up to temp, and I'm just going to start scraping as much of this loose stuff off as I can. I don't let it cool all the way back down. I cut it on, let it come all the way up to temp, then cut it off, then wait for it to cool down just a little bit, and then start scraping. Now the trick is to get all this loose stuff off that you can during this process, and that way, for one, it won't gum up your brick real bad whenever you're starting to use your brick on it. So it just takes a lot of scraping. Tinley says hello. She wants to come outside. That's the great granddaughter. Okay. So this is after it's been scraped. And get your paper towels. Wipe it all off good. Get your paper towels. I'm using these. It's called an earth stone, and it comes with a handy dandy holder. So I like using these. It's kind of like a pumice stone. So this is what we're going to use. Okay. Once you've wiped it down enough and that's about all that's coming off of it, you're good to go. So next comes the re-seasoning. Okay, now that the griddle is clean, you can see after cleaning it, It's a big difference. It's all even, good and even. No more raised places all over it. All the rust is gone. So after all that, it's time to reseason it. And for reseasoning, I use extra virgin olive oil because it has a high smoke rate. So olive oil is good for it. And you want to put on thin layers. You don't want to put on too heavy. Just very thin layers. Because what you want this to do is burn off. And this is what leaves the coating behind. So you just spread this over it. Make sure and get your sides. Get everything real good. Then after you got it all, making sure to get all your sides. All right, once you got that, you cut it on high heat. High heat. And now you wait for it to stop smoking. Once it's done smoking, you let it cool down, cut it off, let it cool down all the way. And you do this step several more times. For the scrubbing I put on it, I'm going to do it 4 times. Make sure I got a good seasoning on it. So yeah, now we just wait for it to burn off. You'll be able to see it when it starts burning off as it starts smoking. Okay, you can see now that it's starting to smoke, and you want to let it keep smoking until it doesn't smoke anymore. When it stops smoking, you have to cut it off, let it cool all the way back down, and apply another thin layer. And you can kind of see where these silver spots are starting to gain some color, and that's the oil bonding with the metal. So just let it quit smoking, cut it off, let it cool all the way back down, put another thin layer of olive oil on it. Still smoking, but if you're curious to how hot this griddle gets, about 570 or 600. So it's averaging 600 degrees. So it gets plenty hot. That's for sure. Now just wait for it to quit smoking now and put my next one on. Okay, it's cooled down. So another thin layer. Again, you don't want to put it on heavy. Just a thin layer. Work it in. Get your sides. This is the most time-consuming part because you gotta let it heat up and then cool down. But this is what keeps everything from sticking. All right. Turn it back on wide open. And wait for the smoke to completely stop. Okay, final step. Coat it real good. This time you can be more liberal with the oil. And it will be ready for the next cook. And there we go. So it's ready for groceries now. Very well seasoned and cleaned off real good. So it's ready for some various food. Well, that about does it, YouTube. If you found the video informative or entertaining, how about hit that like button for me? And if you're so inclined, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, as always, be kind to each other. It don't cost a thing. See you next time. Bye.